Hello everyone, Dan K with Kendo Physiology and more, and this video is emphasizing strengthening your shoulder and chest muscles with an emphasis on martial arts. So I'm going to use a combination of punches, body weight, and weights. Okay, one thing I want to emphasize as well is I'm going to include some back exercises for the simple fact of this. Okay, so when you're working your chest, if you think about it, if you just take a simple thing here, you're working your chest or your shoulders. Okay, so let's pretend we're laying down and we go like this up and we're activating our chest and or our shoulder muscles here, right? Okay, what are we stretching? We're stretching our back muscles. Okay, so what about this? What if we immediately follow it with some back exercises? Okay, so bend over rows. Here's the thing. When you're working your back, come back here, what are you actually going to be stretching? You're going to be stretching your chest muscles here. Why is that important? That is important because when you're actually stretching them, especially if you're going back and forth, okay, so you're doing chest exercise, boom, boom, and then you do back exercise, okay? You're contracting and then you're stretching, contracting and then you're stretching. That is honestly going to help enhance the muscular growth in each individual structure, okay? So by doing exercises that stretch the opposing muscles, okay, this is going to really help emphasize the growth, development, muscle tone, things like that. The overall functional capacity or functional action of the muscle, which is extremely important for martial artists. Okay, so I'm going to explain this and show you this today. Now, you see on my wrist here, I don't have my regular wrist weights, but these are I'm going to use to warm up. So we're going to do some punches, trying to hopefully get a good angle at every way. I know I need to get a microphone, so hopefully you can hear me just fine. Okay, so just basic punches, all right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just go nice fluid movements. Do both sides, so switch sides. Okay, so that's going to, let me get in position for the next exercise. Okay, so I'm probably not going to do a lot of talking back and forth on this video because I completely forgot that I don't have a microphone, so the sound, me talking, is going to go in and out as I walk away. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to do some standing overhead chest presses. Okay, not with a lot of weight because this is going to be more for functional capacity, but it's also going to be for strengthening. However, I always do start with lower weight, but I'm going to focus on technique and show you how this is going to come into play. Okay, so here we go. Here. Breathe in, out. The way I'm doing it right now is actually focusing a little bit more on my shoulders, but it's also emphasizing your upper chest. Okay, get a nice thorough warm up. Nice thorough warm up. Now, what we're going to do is emphasize, we're going to do side lateral raises like this, okay? Now, what this is going to do, this is going to emphasize getting the connection between your medial deltoid into the structure of around your triceps and or your brachialis muscle right there, okay? Purpose of that, it's going to help increase your overall functional capacity for doing more punches, increasing your power as well as preventing injury. And it also looks really cool to get that muscle tone when you get that separate or the connection of each one. Just like that right there, okay? So we'll do these. We want to go up a little faster, come down a little slower. Don't want to go up too high because then you're resting too much and it's not going to focus as much on strengthening. Now I'm only using 10 pounds here. With these, you don't want to start off with a lot. You want to go to where you can do at least 10, or probably I'd say 8 to 12 reps. But you want to feel that strain and that stress on your muscle. And of course, switch arms. Or range of motion. Eight. 2 more. Now you will feel this somewhat in your front deltoid as well, because you do have a front or anterior, a posterior or back, and a medial or a middle. You're mainly going to feel it in your medial, but you're also going to feel it a little bit in your frontal. Okay, so now we're going to work our anterior or our frontal deltoid region. Okay, now you're going to also feel this a little bit in other areas as well. So what we're going to do is you're going to come, you probably see just standard raises like this. Okay, this is going to be a crossover, just like some people do with a cable. Come down slow. When it's done right, you'll feel it in your shoulder right here. You might feel a little bit in your upper chest right there. But mainly, your frontal deltoid. It's going to come down slower. Nine, one more. Okay, now, of course, change sides. Come down slower. As you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're keeping your body stable, activating your core. You don't want to slouch or hang over. Oh, no. Keep your core stabilized. It's going to prevent injury and help stabilize and strengthen your core as a whole. And I lost count. I think I was 9. Okay. Now we're going to get into chest exercises. Okay. We're going to go back and forth here. Okay. Again, this is a training video for functional purpose. It's going to help strengthen. It's going to help build muscle, but it's also going to help for functional purpose and conditioning. That's why we're not resting other than to go from one exercise to the next. So let's get into a little bit of the chest exercises. Okay. So what's one of the most beneficial exercises for your chest? Push-ups. Definitely push-ups. Okay. Like I said, this is a combination of body weight, weights, and martial arts types movements. Okay. So we're going to start off. Excuse me. I'm just going to pop out just a few wide arm push-ups, and we go right into archer push-ups. Archer push-ups, those of you who don't know, is when you go one-handed back and forth like this. You get a good stretch each side. It's going to emphasize both your anterior deltoids and the upper outer portion of your chest. If any of you who know what the coracobrachialis muscle is called, it actually is really going to help strengthen that. Coracobrachialis is going to allow you, by strengthening that more, it is a very important stabilizing muscle. By working that, it is going to allow you to be able to do more push-ups and or pull-ups. It's a stabilizer, so it stabilizes your muscles, helps hold them to where it's going to allow you over time to be able to perform more repetitions of different exercises. So let's start water arm push-ups. For purpose of this video, I'm not going to do a whole lot, but okay. Okay, there's 23 there. Take about 2 or 3 deep breaths. Then we're going to go into the archer push-ups. Now these ones, you want to do slower movements. They're focusing mainly on strength and getting the stretch on the opposing side. So the width that you go really depends on what variation. I mean, you can go wider if you want to. You just want to make sure you get a good, you want to get a good full range of motion. So, okay, ready? It's also going to help to where you can do one-arm push-ups or more one-arm push-ups. Okay. I'm not going to do a whole lot, but okay, now we're going to get into doing some chest presses. Okay, get in a position and then I'll explain a little more. Okay, so I'm gonna go with my 20-pound kettlebell today. I'm not gonna do a lot of weight. A lot of times, what I'll do is I'll take this and on my first set, I'll do my 20-pound kettlebell. Then I'll take my 25-pound iron plate, which I can actually grab like a handle because it has holes in it. And then I'll do that as well. And then sometimes I'll even follow that up with immediately, no rest, same set. Immediately follow it with some barbells. But for purpose of not making this video too long, I'm just going to show you and kind of explain a little bit more. But if you're emphasizing like we just did some push-ups and go right into doing something like this for your chest, you're not going to need as much weight and you're not going to be able to push as much weight, but it's still going to help emphasize the overall structure. Okay, so we're actually on this Bosu ball here right behind me. I'm actually going to do some decline chest presses. The great thing about these, you can do decline, incline, and flat bench, or at least mostly flat bench, but theirs are very beneficial for both incline and decline. Okay, obviously one-armed here. Here we go. I'm going to show you what I do. One thing I do though with these is I will come across. So when I go up, get a good squeeze and then go over, because that's actually going to emphasize your shoulders too. Full range of motion. I usually do about 13 or 14 of these when I'm doing this weight. But I think what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to do as many of these because I'm going to actually pause it here real quick after I'm done with my other side. And then I'm going to grab my barbell and show you how it is differently to do with a barbell on a Bosu ball. Make sure you're in a good position too. Sometimes, especially on a Bosu ball, especially if you haven't noticed by now, I'm a heavy sweater. So I will tend to slip off a little bit on this from the sweat. Again, you want to come across and keep that strength going. Okay, I'm gonna grab my barbell and I'll be right back. Okay. Now, I would not recommend using a barbell in this on a Bosu ball like this in most situations with most people. Okay, just because it can be very dangerous as far as slipping off. obviously adding too much weight to where you can't have control of it. So I don't usually recommend this, but this is my only method I have of using a barbell for any type of like a decline press or anything like that because I don't have a bench. Okay. So added some weight to this barbell, not a lot. And this is what I mean by it's not really the safest thing, but I've done it enough. I have enough control. Okay, so literally like this, as you can tell. Okay, now there we go. Now we do a decline press. You do want your hands to be a little bit more closer in because it's going to be mainly focusing on your chest. And when you come down, you don't want to bring your arms out. You want to bring your arms in like this. And remember, slower movements down, finding that negative is going to help really focus and maximize that strength. And then coming up fast is going to still help activate your fast twitch muscle fibers. Okay, now coming back up is the part that's kind of a little dangerous. Okay, so go like this. As you see there, that could be dangerous. But like I said, I've done enough. I have control, things like that. Okay. So now let's get to the next exercise. Okay, so I'm going to show you some body weight movement, other body weight movements for your shoulders. Okay, so obviously, like I mentioned already, there's your rear shoulders or posterior, anterior or front, and your medial or your middle. Okay, so different exercises you can do. So this one here is actually going to focus primarily on your rear or posterior and your medial or your middle. And what you're going to do here, I'll show you this way you get a little bit of angle, is you're going to get up like you're going to do a side plank or whatnot, except you're going to hold a position, okay? And you're going to go put your hand like this and go back like this. Now, you're going to feel it, really feel it in your shoulder. You want to be careful. You're going to want to stabilize this, okay? So you can hold yourself there and just feel that good strengthening come into play. The biggest, most important thing is having control. And you'll feel it. If you go back far enough, you'll feel it. You're going to have to really keep your balance. Don't go back too fast or too far. Otherwise, you lose your balance, okay? Just do 9 of those there. Switch sides. Same thing. Oh, see, went too far on that one. Okay, a little too far on that one. I fatigued my muscles to the point where I couldn't even pop out another one. Okay, let's move on to the next exercise. Okay, now back to the chest. We're going to do some diamond push-ups. So I'm going to show you the proper way to do diamond push-ups. And these are going to really emphasize, obviously, your tricep. But when you do diamond push-ups, since you're actually putting forth a movement that is going to be more in like this and coming down, it's also going to focus on your chest. So if you come back a little bit more, rather than up a little more, it's going to focus more on your chest than your actual shoulder muscles. Okay, so if you want to emphasize your shoulder muscles more, come out a little bit. Your chest muscles come in a little bit more. And then also anytime I'm using my triceps more, I'm going to proceed those or continue on with those by doing biceps, okay? Because triceps and biceps are antagonists. What that means is when your biceps are contracting, your triceps are relaxing. When your triceps are contracting, your biceps are relaxing. Antagonists are opposing. It means they work against each other, not with each other. Excuse me. So when you work them back and forth, back to back to back to back to back to back, by getting those movements going like that, it's going to increase the overall functional capacity of the underlying muscles. Okay, so in martial artists or martial arts world, whatever, that is actually extremely important. So let's do our diamond push-ups. Now, you want to go like this, okay? A lot of people that have a hands on, no, you want them together. Okay, so I'm going to show you, do some this way, and then I'll go to the side, show you from the side. Again, you want your chest, you come in more. You want your shoulders, come out more like this. You want your chest, you come in. Get down a little slower, control movements. Okay, now do some from the side so you can see the difference. Again, like I said, if you want any more of your shoulders, emphasize your shoulder structure. Okay, come out a little more. You want your chest, come in a little more. Oops. See the difference? Now, since this is a shoulder and chest strengthening, you could even do this. Start off, do some more for your shoulders. And of course, your upper chest as well. That's a given. If it's not a given, my apologies. It is also going to help enhance your upper chest too. There we go. So we did some for our upper chest and our shoulders. There's for our lower chest. Now, as far as the curls, we can do many variations as well. So for curls, we can even do simple bodyweight exercises like chin-ups, because yes, they're working our back, but they're also going to help with our biceps as well. Okay, so one thing I've been doing is I've been doing curls on my knees rather than standing up, because then it's focusing a lot more on your biceps rather than using your core to stabilize. Yes, by doing standing barbell curls, it's going to help you with core stabilization. However, if you want to focus more on your biceps, do them on your knees just like this, and that's actually going to allow you to be able to do more standing barbell curls as well. So I do different variations. I do some where I do closer in, farther out, and then I'll show you this crazy exercise that I learned from Bruce Lee as well. Okay, so I'm gonna do ones more closer in to start with. Okay, not a whole lot, just to show you. Now, what I want you to focus on is when I'm going up, I want you to watch my triceps relax, and as I go down, my triceps, I'm going to give you a good stretch so you can kind of see them contract. Sorry about the lighting here. The sun's a little bright. I need some new blinds. So, okay. 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 Contract. Biceps contract. Relax. Triceps. It's also what's going to happen by doing these. When you're doing shoulder and chest exercises, it's also going to allow you to relax your muscles just for a couple minutes to be able to continue to work them even harder. Okay, that's one variation. I'm going to go over here a little bit. So I'm not going to talk for a minute so you can hear me, or so you can not take a chance of not hearing me. But I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you the other variation. This time I'm actually going to, just so you see the grip, I'm actually going to go wider. Not quite all the way out, but pretty close. And then you're going to see the exercise I'm going to do. Okay, see that? So what I was doing basically is by holding it in a wider position, I was still focusing on my biceps, but I was hitting the outer head. Okay, and as I'm going up as the movement I was making afterwards, going up like this, it's actually going to hit the top part of your biceps that honestly aren't worked very much. Plus, it's going to help increase the stabilization muscles of your anterior deltoids. Bruce Lee could actually do that exercise. Hold 100 to 110 pounds he could hold right up here like this. A lot of bodybuilders can't even do that. That tells you how much different ways of increasing functional capacity of the muscle can really enhance your overall strength. Okay, so that's bicep curls. Now I want to get into back exercises, explain them a little more in depth what I was saying in the introduction. So we're gonna go with my handy dandy kettlebell, as they're very versatile in training. Okay, so with these, as I mentioned in the introduction, we are going to use this concept of the back muscles to help stretch. Obviously, we're going to strengthen our back muscles too. We're going to actually stretch the chest muscle, and then I come back this way, you're going to see the back stretch. So basically, we're going to stretch chest, strengthen back, stretch chest, or excuse me, stretch back, relax, stretch chest, come back, stretch back, relax. Okay, and it's just a basic, basic bent over barbell or bent over row. But the thing is, when we're emphasizing things like this, number one, it's going to teach all of you out there how this is going to come into play with the growth, because the more you're stretching a muscle and working it and doing opposing muscle groups, this is actually going to enhance your overall muscular growth and functional capacity at the same time, and strength if you go down slower, fighting the negative, which I do in every exercise. Okay, I'm going to come back a little bit so you can see, but just remember, watch when I come back, watch chest stretch, back contract, and then the stretch, and then the back stretch, okay? I'm just going to do a few exercises for purpose of video. Video's already a little longer than I want it to be, so. Now, again, as I emphasized in a previous video, when you come back, when you're working your back more, if you want to work more your lats, you want to actually come down. See, a lot of people just go straight up, okay? If you do that, that's going to work your back a little bit, rhomboids maybe, but it's also going to work your rear deltoids, okay, which we will actually, I'll get into that here in a moment. But when you're working primarily your back, okay, you want to keep your elbow sliding to the side and literally come out and arc and back. That's really going to help emphasize, okay? Just do about 9 of these for simulation. Okay, I'm not standing back far enough. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then when you come back to get a good squeeze, let's switch sides. Probably see better from this way. Okay. Now, remember how I said the first time, if you want to focus more on your back, you come back. You can basically come back more arc and come back. If you want to focus more on your deltoids, you're going to want to come more this way. Another thing too, okay, you see how I was holding the kettlebell? Okay, I mainly go like this, and I was turning it coming all the way back like this. Well, this time I'm going to keep it like this, because that's going to focus and emphasize more on my rear deltoid. Plus, I'm going to come more closer rather than at an arc, more closer. And you're going to see how it's going to differentiate. Okay. Okay, switch sides. You can see more better this way, it seems. Okay, and then a lot of times I will actually go in and I'll do some pull-ups after. So let's get into a few of those. Okay, so I'm coming at this angle so you can see the activation of my back muscles. And once again, now this is going to be a little bit different because obviously doing pull-ups is a different position than what we were doing. Okay, but when you come back and you stretch your back, you see here, I'm really going to stretch my entire outer portion of my chest muscle. Okay, so I'm not going to do a whole lot of these just to simulate. All right. Start with wide arm. We'll do a few wide arm. Then we do some close grip and then really close grip. And then I'm going to go right into doing some chin-ups. Take a quick breather. Okay, take another quick breather. All right, one more quick breather, then some chin-ups. Okay, now as you've seen on the last exercise of each one, I was going down a little slower. That's to help activate and target your muscle group a little bit more. Okay, sorry, I really not mean for this video to be this long. However, okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of forearms. Why forearms, you may ask? Because the more stronger your forearms are, the more exercises you'll be able to do. Because if you're having struggles, if your forearms are weak and you're struggling to hold on to a bar for something, that is going to prevent you from being able to do as many repetitions. So let's get into just a basic, real simple exercise, something you can make your own device, whatever it may be. Okay, so I have these 2.5 pound weights tied to a rope, makes total 5 pounds. I have this old dumbbell bar as my dumbbells themselves, really old. They're no longer with us. So, okay, wrist rollers. A lot of you might know about those, okay? Do a weight where you can do multiple repetitions. So I usually do about 17 up, 17 down, sometimes more than one set. So let's go. When we do it, we want to get a good arch. We want to do as little repetitions as possible. I know that sounds weird, but the reason is because you want to focus on getting a good, nice curl. So instead of just doing a bunch of fast movements, now if you're doing speed training, that'd be beneficial. But if instead of doing a bunch of fast movements, do more of an arch. So arms straight out in front of you. There, see, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17. Back down. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17, 17. Okay. A lot of times I will take like a 5-second breather and I'll go and do some more repetitions. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Okay. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 13, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13. Okay, there we go. So once again, I'm sorry for the lengthiness of this video. I just want to give you a thorough thorough, detailed description of the video. Okay, so the thing is, obviously, with the explanation and everything, the video is a little bit longer. However, with the training itself, if you just go boom, 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 little to no rest. Sometimes, if you really feel a lot of fatigue after your first set, go ahead and rest for about a minute or so, minute and a half. I would say probably no longer than that, unless you feel really, really fatigued. Then I'd probably take 2 minutes and then do a second set. I know it seems like it might take a while. Just really depends on how many different isolation movements you're going to do as opposed to barbell movements, as well as how many repetitions overall. So let's get out there, stay motivated, believe in yourself, believe you can do it, and believe that you deserve it. Let's get out there, let's go, and never forget, push yourself.